I'm going to start the clock. We're going to start with forward arm circles. I figured out my timer issue from the other night. All right, some nice big arm circles. Make them a bit tighter, a little bit faster. Nice straight paddling arms, looking good. And small, fast. And switching. Big range of motion. Warming up those joints. Tomorrow in my update, I'm going to send out some mobility stretches and shoulder conditioning work, because that's where we tend to get injured. A little bit smaller. And the fastest, very, very tight circles. And we're going down into a squat with a rotational arm reach. This doesn't have to be fast. It's more important that you see how low you can get into your squat and how far you can reach. Now we're going to go into, sorry guys, my cat's freaking out here. Push that butt back. Nice big hip circles. It's okay, Heidi. And switch direction. And we're going into a Hiney March. Again, this is not about fast. This is about trying to drive that knee up and waking up all these hip joints. And we're moving into a trunk rotation. So feet about hip width apart. Give yourself a nice big barrel roll, twisting from the belly button, just warming up the core, the mid-back. Again, this is not about how fast you do this. It's a dynamic stretch. It's about warming up all the muscles. Moving into our shoulder conditioning. So we're moving into a Y, down to a T, down to a W, and L. Y, T, W, L, Y, T, W, L, Y, T. All right, a little bit of cardio, 30 seconds of skaters. This can be a more rapid movement, because now we're trying to get our heart rate up as well. We're just warming up our body, getting ready for our weight work. All right, and we are warmed up. Here, you say hello to everybody. Ivy's keeping an eye on everyone today. Hey, sweet girl. There you go. All right, so let's get to our strength workout for the day. Just gotta move my mouse. Still figuring out some technology here. Oop, no. There we go. All right, so today's exercises, again, we've been building on movements that we've been doing all along. So, and we're still focusing on different core muscle groups. So we're doing our squats. We've had different motions through our squats. Today we're going to do a squat, and then we're going to bring it up to an upright row. So an upright row, you're going to go down, you're going to come up, and you're going to pull that up. You're going to hit about your chest height. And you're going to have to play a little bit with what weight works for you. You're going to find by the end of the 10 reps, it may be quite heavy. So use this first round to just see how you feel about it. From there, we are going to go into reverse flies. Now with reverse flies, you may want to use a lighter weight. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take that bent over row position where we're here. You're going to hold those weights relaxed, your wrists are straight, and now you're going to pull up. Slight bend in the elbow. So I'll do it from here. You're coming up and back down, and up and back down. Then we are going to go down. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I've just turned this around. We're going to go into bicep curls. Again, with bicep curls, elbows are tucked in. You want a full range of motion. You want to be from down here, coming all the way up, and back down. And again, just like when we're paddling, the up is a nice strong movement, controlled on the way down and up. From there, we're going to go over to the mat. We're going to go into some donkey kicks. So you're going into your neutral table position, foot up, push up, and come in, and push up and come in. You're going to do 10 on either side. It's harder if you do all 10 on one side and 10 on the other side. You can alternate. Then from there, we're going to stay down on the mat, and we're going to go into a dumbbell pullover. Again, you may have to use one or two of the rounds to figure out what weight works for you. Lay straight on your back. If you cannot push your back into the ground, have bent knees. You're going to have a full arm extension. You want to see how far your range of motion can go, and you're going to be nice and strong on the up. So it's controlled on the way down, strong on the up. From there, you're still on the mat. We are going into a reverse crunch. Couple of options for this. And just have your hands out for balance. You can pop that bum up. If that's hard on your back, or you're finding that that's jarring your back, one leg at a time, or you can even just pull your knees in. So there's different variations. The hardest one will be the one where you come up and push that little bum up, and just kind of give that lower ab a little extra work at the end. From there, we're still on the mat. We are going into our side plank pulses. So you're going to be on a side plank with your elbow down. I'll show you a couple of variations of this. You want to be in a nice straight line, and you want to come up and down for 10, and then you want to do the other side. If that is too much of a challenge for you, there's a couple of options. You can cross your legs so you're distributing the weight and come up and down, or you can tuck that bottom leg and use it as to take some of the extra weight off and push that up. And again, kind of just see what feels right for you and go from there. From there, we're going to stand up to finish, and we're going to do a wood chop. Wood chop, again, we've been working a lot on rotation, but you may find that you can't use a really heavy weight with this. A wood chop, you're going to come down about knee, depends where you're at. Today you may only be here. You want to ideally get down around that knee level, and you're going to throw it. You're just kind of shot putting it, reverse shot putting it over. Then you can take the other side, And you're going to do that. So you're working this whole side as you do that. So you're going to do 10 on each side. So we'll get started. We'll do the first round. If anybody has any questions or needs any modifications, then we'll go from there. So we're going to start with our squats with up to upright row. And again, you may want to start with a little bit lighter weight than you're normally used to. I'm just going to get my watch started here. And we're going to go for 10 reps. Make sure when you're in your squat, weights in your heels, knees aren't coming past your toes, and you're standing up nice and tall. And when you're ready, we're on for 10. Moving from there into our reverse fly. So again, a little bit bent over. Our arms are down and relaxed. And we're coming up. You've got a little bit of a soft elbow. Do not lock your elbow. And just see where your range of motion is. Nice and strong on the up, controlled on the way down. All right. We're moving from there into our bicep curls. Make sure those elbows are tucked nice and close. And you want to see what your range of motion is. Again, strong on the way up and relax on the way down. The control part of the exercise is equally as important as the exertion because it mimics our recovery time in the water. When we've done that, we're moving down to the mat. Starting with our donkey kicks. So you're in tabletop position, foot's up, and you're just pushing that foot up to the ceiling for 10, trying to keep your core and your hips stable. You can alternate or do one leg at a time, but ultimately you want 10 reps on each side. When you're done, grab your weight for your dumbbell pullovers and lie down on your back. So again, if you struggle with back issues, you may want to bend your knees. If you need a little bit more challenge, put those legs straight out, keeping everything square, nice and strong on the way up, full controlled range of motion on the way down. Focus on keeping those arms straight If you're struggling to keep your arms straight, you may have too much weight in your hands. From there, you're still on your back. We're going into our reverse crunches. Again, options for your crunch. You can just bring both knees up. You can bring one knee up at a time, tap it back down, or if you need a bit more, you can do a little hop at the end. From there, we're rolling over onto our side for our side plank pulses. Again, there are options for you. You need some extra support. You can have that lower leg bent and push that up. And then you're just pulsing that hip up and down for 10. You can have one leg crossed in front of the other, so you're distributing that weight. Or you can have both feet together and do your pulse. You just want to make sure you've got 10 pulses on either side. When you're done your 10, slide over and do the other side. Oops. And sometimes it's hard to just get a grip. And from there, when you're done, we are moving up to do our woodchuck. Again, I suggest you start a little bit lighter than you think for this round. Hold the weight evenly, down, and you're up. Try and keep those limbs nice and straight. And when you're done, take a 2-minute break. And you can unmute. If you have any questions, comments. You want it harder, you want it easier. It's a quiet group this morning.
Gwen?
Yes, Annie.
I can't do the ones with laying on my hips. Is there anything you can suggest I can do?
Oh, right.
Standing up?
So let's think about that. That's right. What you're really trying to work is you're trying to stabilize and work this area, right? So just even doing bends.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but again, the trick with those where they're successful is you want to make sure that you're in a line, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not helping yourself. If you're forward or if you're backward, that's probably where you're going to injure your back. So what you want to be doing is contracting and expanding this muscle here.
Okay.
So just do them standing, Annie.
Okay.
I've been researching some hip mobility stretches. I'm get back into my yoga because I'm feeling it too. So I've been working on, so that's a lot of what I'm going to send out this week is some shoulder conditioning. and some hip mobility. I'm going to send some links to some videos, just because those tend to be areas we're really, really tight in.
Well, I'll keep trying, but as long as there's pain there, it hurts too much.
Absolutely. You never want pain. There's workout fatigue, and there's, what we call workout pain, but then there's body pain, and you have to listen to your body. It's so very, very important, because if you aggravate something and you continue to repeat that movement, you're going to just put yourself so far back. So you want to be tired, you want to be sore, but you don't ever want to be in pain. And so that's why I give you 3 or 4 different adaptations to an exercise, and they may change week to week. You may find that one week you feel really strong. This morning I was just like everybody else. I was like, oh, Saturday, it's slow. And, I wasn't really into it. And so, it's okay to go down a weight set for a round and then go, okay, I've got it back, I'm warmed up, things like that. And you may even find as you go through the rounds that your mobility is increasing as things warm up. But just focus on the muscle group.
I've got to the point where I can't even sleep on my sides anymore because my hips give me too much pain. So
yes.
And I've been trying
that with that. We've had that conversation. All right, everyone, let's go into our next round.
Gwen?
Oh, yes, Lorraine.
Question about that side plank again.
Yes.
So when you're doing the side plank, you've got I'm down on one elbow. What am I doing with my other hand?
There's a variety of options. Good question. I usually just have it tucked here. A more advanced form of it is to have your arms straight out. So now it's pointing to the ceiling.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I usually just have it just resting on my hip. But again, that's probably your best spot for it. Anytime you go with your arms away from your body, you're challenging your balance more, and that's what makes it a more advanced movement.
Oh, okay, thanks, Gwen. I appreciate that explanation.
Not a problem, Lorraine. All right, everybody, let's get started. We are starting with our squats to upright row. When you are ready. Moving from there into your reverse flies. Again, soft elbows, slight bend, and you're coming up and back down. Nice and strong on the up, controlled back down. All right, from there we are moving into bicep curls when you're ready. Keeping those elbows tucked in, very nice. And you're going through your full range of motion. Strong on the up. You almost want to count 2 or 3 on the way down. And a 1 up. And from there, we're going to go down to our mat work. Starting with our donkey kicks. Again, neutral tabletop, point it up, and you're just pressing up towards the ceiling. Nice and strong on the way up. You don't want that alternate hip to be sliding around. Try and stabilize it. And you can do all on one side or you can alternate them. From there, you're moving into your pullovers. Watch your range of motion here. Try and get as close to the floor as you can. And then nice and strong up to about a 90-degree, so you're pointing to the ceiling. Nice, I'm liking those nice straight arms, guys. From there, we're moving into a reverse crunch. And into our side plank pulses or standing crunch. We're really focusing on those oblique muscles. Making sure that your body's in a straight line, whether you're standing or you're laying on the ground. Your body should not be in a C shape. And see how high you can pop that hip up. When you've done 10 on one side, you can switch over. Again, just watching your body alignment. When you've completed that, you're going to be moving up to your woodchuck. In the woodchuck, make sure you're keeping your arms fairly straight. This is not a bicep exercise. This is a rotational exercise where you're challenging yourself by moving your arms above your head. This is working your core, doing some glute work. And switch sides. Make sure that the weight is not carrying you away. And when you're done, get a sip of water and take a break. So one of the things I'm noticing, and these are definitely a little bit more compound movements than we've been doing, is it's a lack of control. So what's happening, and it may be that your weight's too light, but If this is what you're doing in woodchop, you're not getting the benefit of the exercise. Or if you have to kind of bend your arms to get up, you're not getting the benefit of the exercise. The exercises are designed to kind of work on a specific muscle group, or in that compound grouping, like the woodchop, we're working 3 or 4 different muscle groups. So think about, even if you just slow it down, it's okay. Or you may need to go up a bit in weight so that it keeps you kind of honest. But in the woodchop, you're coming down into that half squat. You've got a rotation this way. You're coming up across your body and you're coming up here. And then it's swinging back down. But the swing is also controlled. And then on this side, you're coming back up. So the exercises where I see some struggles today are the woodchop, and it is a hard exercise. So I'm not singling anybody up. It's a tough one. And the pullover. If you have to bend your arms to move from that full range of motion over your head to here, then your weight's too heavy. And you don't want to be doing this. That's not the exercise. So we want to be focused on what are we really supposed to be accomplishing in those exercises. You're better to do a lighter weight, or you're better to do, more controlled reps and slow down so that you're getting the full benefit out of them. I kind of keep an eye on the screen. We try to keep up with everyone. People who do it a bit faster get a little longer break. All right, so we are going to move into our next round, everyone. So we are starting with our squat to upright row. Using good form does 2 things. Works the right muscles and prevents injury. So nice comfortable squat, and we're going into our squat with upright row. From there, you're moving into reverse flies. That's another one where you really want to watch the control on how you're doing the exercise. So you're going to come up nice and strong and come back down. This one does have soft elbows. You don't want to lock out on this one. From there, we're moving into our bicep curls. Everybody's doing a great job on these. Nice and strong on the way up, controlled on the way down. And we're ready to move down to our mat work. Starting with our donkey kicks. This exercise doesn't just work your glute, it challenges your core. It's a balance and stability exercise. All things that translate really well to other exercises that we do. When you're done the donkey kicks, we'll be moving into our dumbbell pullover. All right, laying on your back. Really think about how all those muscles are connected together. Nice, nice straight limbs, guys. From there, we're still on our back. We are moving into our reverse crunch. Make sure that your shoulders and your neck are relaxed. Chin's pointing up to the ceiling. Still on the mat, we're going to move into our side plank pulses. Doing 10 on each side. And when you're done, slowly come to standing for the wood chop. Try and think about your body moving as one unit in the wood chop. That all those pieces are connected. Much better. And when you're done, we'll take a 2-minute break. And we've climbed over the hill, and we're on the way downhill. One of the nice things about wood chop is it gets your heart rate up too, because of how much moving you're doing. So get a little bonus cardio in there.
Gwen, can I ask you what weight you're using for the reverse?
For the reverse fly, I've got a 5-pound in my hand. You may only have a 2-pound. I wouldn't recommend, with pretty much anybody in this group, going over 5 to 7. I would normally probably use a 7, but because I have my big group training with my other team tomorrow, I do actually back off the weights a little bit today. But that's a lot. There's a lot of pressure in the fly. So, you know, you can even do a fly with no weight at all. It's more about, because what you're doing is you're contracting these shoulder blades. I'll show you my best side. Here we go. So what you're doing is you're pulling back. When you pull back, you can see how my shoulder blades almost touch together.
Yes, okay.
And back down. That's the movement. So it's less about the weight than trying to contract those shoulder blade muscles. So I was doing it with 2 pounds. I'm still doing the motion. So you almost want to, when I was working with my personal trainer, what she would do to me when we did this exercise is she would put her finger between my shoulder blades. She would do that when I did push-ups, any exercise like that where we're contracting this. She would actually put her finger there, and I would have to feel her finger when my shoulder blades touched. So think about that movement. That's a great question, Lorraine, is that you want to just pull that back. And that's really the feeling that you want in this exercise.
Okay, okay. I only have 10-pound weights right now, so I didn't
Oh
do
my gosh.
So I'm not going to do it with 10. I'm smart enough for that.
You're not going to be able to move tomorrow. So what you want to do is, you know what, for the last 2 rounds, don't use any weight at all. Just get that motion.
Okay, that's what I did today, but I thought I'd go out and buy either 5 or 7. So 5 is what you'd recommend.
At the most.
At the moment.
Weights are still really hard to come by. You could even put sand in water bottles and get that same feeling.
Yeah, Canadian Tire's open now though, right?
They are. Weights are sold by pound. So when I bought all my weights, I was spending $1.25, $1.40 a pound to buy a weight. Sometimes you have to really watch. They can be as much as $3 a pound now. So it's highway robbery. They're coming down because people are have a little more access to the gym, or they're hoping the end's in sight. But yeah, it's still quite ridiculous what they want for weights. So even I'm pretty stubborn. I have kind of a little Frankenstein set in my home gym, and I have to kind of cobble things together because I just won't pay those prices. So they'll come down, but see what they're worth. If you're getting them for about $2 a pound, you're okay. All right, everybody, let's go into round 4.
I use soup cans sometimes.
Soup cans are fine. I went through my kitchen and I used my weight scale, my food scale on them. And yeah, Kay's just saying she spent a couple hundred for 2 45-pound plates. Exactly. So just watch your prices. I'd rather that you just did the movements with no weight and got the movements in, or very lightweight, as opposed to spending a lot of money, because they're going to be super cheap on Marketplace next year. All right, into squats to upright row. Moving from there into reverse flies. Again, this is a good time to think about that. Are my shoulder blades contracting? Nice, much better, everyone. Moving from there into our bicep curls. From there, we're moving down to the mat for donkey kicks. 10 on each side. No problem, Kay. Rolling over, moving into our pullovers. Should be nice and warm now. You should be able to get that weight pretty close to the floor. Oh, I'm loving all these straight arms. Well done, everyone. Moving into our reverse crunch. I'm going to do a modified version for this one because there are people who watch the video after. Nice strong core there, Jerry. Well done. Moving from there into our side plank crunches. Again, watch your body alignment. And finish with our woodchuck. You may find it helpful to exhale on the way up. Oh, and you're done round break. One round left. Nice, wood chops are much better. switch hop like your movement in the boat. Arms coming up. We're derotating, and we're going back. We're working all that side.
Gwen, I was going to suggest for Lorraine, if she doesn't have lighter weights, tension band also.
Yes, I was actually going to, I don't have any here today for me. They're in my other room. Yes. So those are the same ones that the physiotherapists use. So there's those, and then, hang on, just talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'll be back.
I didn't catch your name, but the person who pulled the bands out, can you show me how you're using? Oh,
Sure. Hi, I'm Colleen.
Colleen, okay.
So maybe I'll let Gwen show because she's our.
Oh, that's okay, Colleen. I don't have my light ones. I don't know where they went. So you go ahead. Oh, there.
You just hold it so that you know that you have enough resistance when you pull back. So something that's comfortable for you. And make sure your wrists aren't bending. Keep your wrists straight like you would. And then you're still doing the same bend forward. Sorry. I'm not good at this, but same bend forward, flat back. And you're just using the resistance of the band instead of weight.
Okay, okay. So I do have, I'm not sure if my band is quite that long though. So I might need a longer band, but
those are a little easier to come by. So those you can get at like Winners, HomeSense. I got a set when everything first started off of Amazon. So I have rubberized ones. There's ones with handles. So again, you know, you can do this one, the Cat 8, so it's a little bit shorter. But you can do those flies. See, I can't because it's not long enough. But where you get that resistance,
okay.
You can see how hard it is for me to pull even up to here. Now, when you buy them, and your cat doesn't eat them, they're longer. So there's, you know, bands like that. There's ones that are just a big, they look like a big elastic band. These wide ones are great for squats. And you just put them just above your knees. And you can do your squats with those. So there are alternatives to dumbbells.
Okay.
So let's go into our last round. I know we've run a little late today, but we've had some really good conversation.
Do we have one more round?
Did we do 5?
I don't know. I thought we were.
We're on number 5.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah.
You caught me there for just a second. It's those 10-pound weights, Lorraine. All right, we are moving into squat with upright row. From there, we're moving into reverse fly. I'm gonna grab a band. Another thing you can do if you have a band is just do a pull apart. Here's my back here. And again, you're just choking up on the band so you've got enough resistance. You can do a pull apart. Again, just thinking of contracting those shoulder blades. Do the same with the band, and again, this one's tough because I don't have my full length on it. You can do that with bicep curls, where it's in here and you're pulling up. So you can modify all of these exercises to a band. One of the reasons I started with just finding household items is they were really hard to come by. And moving down on the mat for donkey kicks. Once you're done, get ready for rolling on your back for your pullovers. Nice straight arms, well done. Moving into our reverse crunch. Rolling over for your side plank. Keep an eye on your body alignment. Want to be in a nice straight line. Hands can be on your hip or up in the air for a bit more balance challenge. And we've saved the best for last. Moving into the wood chop. Nice controlled movements. Excellent, everyone. Think about what your shoulders are doing. Are you rotating through the movement? And that is 5. Well done, everyone. I know we ran a bit over today. If you need to leave us, enjoy your weekend. I'm going to run everybody through a quick cool down. We did a lot of upper body work today and a lot of core work today. Make sure that you're taking some time, stretch, really kind of open things out on your own time, you know, taking Epsom salt bath. Epsom salt baths are great. Make sure you're drinking water because they'll dehydrate you. But just give yourself some extra time for stretching this weekend because you're going to feel it through your chest and you're going to feel it through your back. So let's start with some shoulder rolls. And reverse. And really see how big you can make those rolls. I can hear little things cracking as I'm rolling around here. And we're going to move into some goalposts. So arms are at 90. Got a little bit of pressure on the back. You'll feel that up the back of your shoulders. You're just going to drop those arms. And you're going to feel that release on the front of your shoulders. Make sure you're taking nice deep breaths. Back up. I can feel that through my shoulder blades. And back down. One more time up. And back down. And just give those arms a wiggle. Now we're moving into our next stretch. Tuck that arm back. You can just tip, use gravity. See where you're feeling that stretch in through here. If you need a little bit more, nice soft fingers on the top of the head. All you're doing is you're just guiding that stretch. And nice big breaths in this one. You want to bring oxygen to that area. And release and switch. Again, get your head position first. See where you feel like it's tense. And then if you need a bit more, just give it a bit of a guide. This one's going to feel different for absolutely everyone. And release. Before we go into our tricep stretch, I want to take a cross arm stretch. This one's important because you want to make sure your shoulder is down. So if you're up here, you're not helping yourself. You want to release. We're releasing all through here. That's where you should feel it. And switch arms. It's important we release all this lactic acid that we've built up. Now we'll move into our tricep stretch. And switch. And release. Hands on hips. You can separate your feet a little bit. We are going to do a trunk rotation. So you are really just turning from your belly button up. So you just want to release that mid-back. Look towards the side or the back of the room and rotate those shoulders. And back to center. And now the other side. Back to center. Nice big deep breath in, arms over our head, moving into our forward fold. Fill those lungs right up. Exhale, drop down into your forward fold. Again, this is a bit of a personal move depending on mobility. You may get right down. I would rather that you softened your knees if you're having a hard time getting down, because where you're releasing is all through those hamstrings and those glutes. You can connect your hands at the elbows. Hang out here as you're breathing. Lots of oxygen into that. You may find you can drop a little bit farther. You can move over to the left. See how that feels. Come back to center. Move over to the right. Come back to center. Drop your hands again and just see if you've got a bit more mobility now that you've loosened that. And then you're going to slide your hands up on top of your quads. From there, we're going to move into some cat-cow. So we start with our inhale, pushing our butt back, eyes skyward, exhaling into angry cat, releasing our spine. This is a nice slow controlled movement. One more. And roll up to standing. Just do a couple of glute releases. So sit back down on your mat. You want to lay in that glute bridge position. Cross one leg over the other. That may be enough for you. You'll feel that release right in the hip joint and glute. If you need a bit more, you can bring that foot right up here. And if you even want a little more stretch, just thread your fingers through. And take a couple of nice deep breaths here. And drop that foot, switch legs. Again, you may find a difference between your legs, and so the stretch may feel different, and you may have to modify it depending on how tight you are from one side to the other. And release. Back up to sitting. We'll finish with a cobbler stretch. Feet together. Tuck them in as far as is comfortable for you. You may have your hands on your knees. You may be on your shins. You may grab your toes. And just let those knees drop down to the floor. And release. And just slowly back up to standing. Nice big breath in. Release. One more time. Well done, everyone. It was hard work today. That was a tough one. We're at the halfway point, so they're just going to get more challenging from here.